Hi people, welcome back to TSTALKS. If you haven't already done so, make sure you go hit the subscribe button and go check out all the prior videos. Today I'm talking about the climate change protests which have been going on in London for the last couple of weeks. I think they've come to an end for this time, but it's not the first time there's been a climate change protest in London. Probably won't be the last, but personally I'm just giving my brief thoughts on it. Now, in the aspects of where they're blocking up roads, which they've done before, more times it's roads which got quite a high pollution, especially as London is one of the most highly polluted cities in the world. For that sort of stuff, I can't really blame them. Leave them to it, do their thing. You kind of plan and work around it and, go about it. That's cool. Well, when I was out in London the other day, I encountered some people that, were dressed quite strangely. That's the first way to say it, strangely and relatively scary. Not for myself, not much things tend to scare me. I'm not saying I'm Mr. Not Scared, but there's not a lot of things that tend to get me thinking, this is a bit dodgy, let me sidestep this. But I just thought it was a bit weird. Like, it's all good them having their little signs there saying, alongside them saying non-violent. Now, I know if that was a group of youths doing this sort of thing, especially in certain areas, maybe not in central London, but especially in certain areas within inner city London, where there's a lot of sort of crimes that go down, the police would have wrapped them up in minutes. That's not my thoughts, that's a genuine reality, and I'm sure there's many people that could agree with that comment I've just made there. But even with that, I thought it was a bit weird. But the one that kind of really set me off the most was when I saw the people that was climbing on top of the Jubilee Line train. I think it was at Canning Town. And the commuters lost it. And to be fair to the commuters, I can't say I blame them. Now, people are protesting about climate change and pollution, etc. Now, these people are at a train station. The train, firstly, is one of the key methods of keeping down this whole pollution thing, if you know what I mean. By being on the train, you're not driving, etc., so you're helping reduce emissions, if you know what I mean. So being on the train, or even being on the bus, a lot of the buses now they have in London, etc., are like zero emissions and stuff. So if people are on public transport, the last thing to do is to kind of halt them getting in to or from work for people that do night shifts, by making their train line get suspended, etc. It's not really a smart move. And for those protesters that got dragged off the train, I personally have no remorse for them. I think them commuters did the right thing. I think if the same thing was to happen again, they'd be 100% right to do so. I know in a lot of these jobs that people work, I know a lot of managers are quite heartless and cold, to be fair with you. They don't really tend to care. A lot of them will be like, a lot of managers will be like, well, you should have prepared for this and beforehand and found another way into work. But thankfully I haven't ever had to encounter that in my times of working. Whether that's I've never really been caught up in any sort of climate change protest. But I know when there's been tube strikes and stuff, I find an alternative. But even if I was late into work, management just dealt with that. It wasn't a thing of you're late into work, etc., etc. But I know in certain jobs they don't generally care. So for those people, I can understand why they were angry. People get angry in London when you miss the train and the next one's in 1 minute. That's the reality of it. So no remorse to those protesters there. I think what they did was, in that aspect, was silly, and it just goes against actually what you're protesting for. You're protesting for people to help cut emissions and stuff. They're on the train. I can understand if you're blocking the road, or if you're stopping someone driving there, I don't know, their big 4x4 car or something, that I could understand. But not when someone's on public transport. To me, that doesn't make much sense. But that's just my opinion on it. Maybe someone might feel different to me. Again, all I do on here is I give my thoughts and opinions on subjects, and I'm welcome to hear what other people have to say about it. But that's my thoughts on the whole subject. I think I understand the reasons as to why some people protest, but I think some people just got out of hand. And for those ones at the train station, you know, they're protesters for the wrong reason, for why they're on the train stopping people getting to or from work early hours of the morning, when they're trying to be helpful and use public transport. And, you know, whatever happened to them, good, in my opinion. That's all from me on the subject. Of course, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And, you know, I'll most likely just post the video of the protesters people I saw separately on a separate video, and you can let me know your thoughts on that. And, you know, I'll catch you next time.